Nityanam, that was such a powerful darshan of Devi Parashakti. I welcome all of you today for this power manifestation session. Let us now get ready to manifest the divine powers of Paramashiva in the same space of oneness that we are established in after having the grace and blessings of Devi Parashakti, Mariamman. Today we are going to be manifesting the power of remote vision and body scanning. We are going to be manifesting the same two powers. Let us now get ready to manifest these two powers. Today in the body scanning, we are going to be doing scanning of any of the surgeries that the other person has had. Before we have done this power, just scanning any powers, just scanning the other person's body for any kind of surgery that the other person has had. Whether if that was on a video call where you were able to see the other person and you did the body scanning. But today we are going to be doing the power of body scanning with remote vision. We are going to see the other person through the power of remote vision. And we are going to be manifesting this power today. Let us now get ready to manifest the power. We're going to be doing one round of this power of the remote vision and the body scanning, which is the remote body scanning. Now you can call anyone that you would like to manifest this power for and tell them to write down anything that they have, any surgeries that they have had. Make sure to call someone, maybe someone from your office colleagues or someone who you do not know any problems that they have of their body, any kind of surgery that they have had in their body. You shouldn't already know that person very well to know all of these details. Make sure to call someone who you do not know these details of. Let us get ready to do the power manifestation. The Shastra Pramana for this power, which is the revelation from Paramashiva himself directly. As we all know that Hinduism has 4 methods of teaching, which is the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and then the Sakshi Pramana. Shastra Pramana are the revelations directly by Paramashiva himself to the whole world. Through the scriptures, all the Vedas and the Agamas are direct revelations from Paramashiva himself. Next is the Apta Pramana, the revelations from Paramashiva, which has been tested by the Rishis by applying it on themselves. Is the Apta Pramana. The Rishis are great enlightened masters. They have tested it, and that has become the Apta Pramana. Next is the Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana means anyone who is initiating the disciples, the gurus, the supreme point of Hinduism. Our guru who has initiated us into this power of body scanning and all the various initiations from the Agamas, which the supreme point of Hinduism is giving us. The gurus, they themselves should have experienced these powers on themselves and manifested these powers. That is the Atma Pramana. And only once the gurus have experienced this power and manifested these powers, can they give the initiation to the disciples and make it as their experience as a Sakshi Pramana. Now, here are all the Sakshi Pramana for this power of the body scanning. Let us now listen to the Shastra Pramana of this body scanning. This is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 54 and Dharana 31. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshma tarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante vyajyate para. The translation goes, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, which is the Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consists of essential reality. They are being absorbed in their source cause, which is the Sadashiva. By the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all the thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, the Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation then starts to manifest. With this, now we are going to be entering into the power manifestation. Let us get ready. Let us sit on the ground with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. You can ask the person who you are scanning for to make sure that they have written all the surgeries or anything that they have had, even a small stitch or anything, anytime they've had any kind of a surgery on their body, they can write that, or any kind of major injury, all of these they can write. And also the surroundings that they are sitting, like what is around them or anything, any details of their surroundings or the furniture that is around them or the color that they are wearing or how they look, how they're dressed that day. All of these details also they can write. And also all of you make sure that you have a camera with you, with a phone or any other camera that you have to take photos of yourself doing this power manifestation. We're going to be while doing the power manifestation, we're going to be taking a photo of ourselves and posting it on the social media. So let us get ready now. Sit with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, in your third eye. Close your eyes. Visualize Swamiji intensely. Any form that you connected, anywhere that you experience the space of oneness, experience the space of bliss with Swamiji, you can visualize those forms. If you're new to this session, if you're coming for the first time, you'll also be able to manifest the power. Just sit and visualize Swamiji in your third eye. Any form of Swamiji you can visualize. Any form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, any darshan, any initiation, anything, any form, you can visualize any form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in your third eye. Sit on the ground if you can, or sit in any comfortable position. Sit straight. If you can sit in Padmasana, sit in Padmasana. Let us now chant the Mahavakya intensely. Chant the Mahavakya. You can chant it in your throat center or aloud. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Now, request the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in your third eye to show everything about the other person, any kind of a problem that the other person has had, any kind of a surgery that the other person has had. Request the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to reveal all of that to you. Before that, you can start with seeing the other person, how they're dressed, and what is the surroundings, what is the furniture that is around them with the remote vision power. Then you can see them with your third eye and scan their body through the body scanning. So first, request the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, please show me everything that the other person is having, everything around the other person, and show the other person itself. Then you enter into the body scanning power and manifest the power of body scanning. Let us start the power manifestation now. We are going to be having 5 minutes for this power manifestation. And all the people who are manifesting these powers today, you can write down every detail of the other person, whatever you're seeing, whatever is being revealed to you in your third eye, write every single thing down. And after the power manifestation, you're going to be revealing this to the other person, whoever you're doing the power manifestation for. Intensely chant the Mahavakya in your throat center. Let's continuously chant the Mahavakya intensely and write down everything that is being revealed to us. Make sure to take photos as well while you're doing the power manifestation. Take the photos of yourself, or you can ask someone else to take the photo of you doing the power manifestation. Sit straight and intensely chant the Mahavakya, visualizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Continuously remember to visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and manifest the power. Write down every single detail that you are seeing in your third eye that Swamiji is showing to all of us. We have 2 more minutes for the power manifestation. Let us continue to do the power manifestation. In a few minutes, in a few seconds, we are going to be verifying the revelations that we've had from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Yes. Now we are going to be moving on to the next step of the power manifestation. Let us get ready to move on to the next step of the power manifestation. Now we are going to be verifying the revelations that we have had from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now you can start with revealing everything that you saw about the person, like the surroundings of the person, with the power of the remote vision, and you can reveal every single details, the color of the dress the other person was wearing, what type of dress they are wearing, what is the surrounding, whether it is their office or their house, and anyone you saw next to them. Every single detail, you can reveal everything about the other person. And then you can reveal the revelations that you've had with the body scanning. When you scan the other person, when you scan the other person's body, every revelation you had about that, you can reveal those as well. Now, you can start with the revelation. You can start telling the other person now about all the different things that you saw about their body, about the surgeries that they've had, or any kind of an injury that they've had. You can reveal all of this to them. We have a few minutes to share our experience, share our revelations to the other person. After this, we are going to be sharing our experience on the social media. In 1 minute, we are going to be sharing our experience on the social media. I'm just taking the message. Yes. Now we're going to be moving on to the next step. We are going to be sharing our experiences on the social media. Now you can go to Facebook and you can share the photos of you doing the power manifestation, the powers that you have manifested today, which is the body scanning and the remote vision. You can share both of these, the photos of yourself doing this power manifestation. And the power manifestation itself is not just about seeing what the problems that the other person has had, or seeing the other person sitting in your place and seeing someone who is far away. It's not just about this. It is more about manifesting Swamiji himself in your body, manifesting Paramashiva himself in your body, and manifesting the higher powerful cognitions and having a breakthrough in your life. That is what power manifestation is all about. So every cognition, any click that you've had, any experience, the experience of bliss that you're having when Swamiji is radiating through your body, you can share all of those experiences in the social media. You can start sharing your experiences now. And this is a beautiful opportunity for all of us to share and express our gratitude towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for giving us this beautiful opportunity to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. We can express and share our gratitude, express our gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through the social media. And while you're doing the sharing on social media, you can use the hashtags of PPV, which is the Pacchai Pattini Vratham. You can use the hashtag PPV. You can use the hashtag Mariamman. You can use the hashtag Kailasa, hashtag Power Manifestation, and also the hashtag Nityananda. You can use these 5 hashtags to post your experiences. And also for all the participants who are doing the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, you can also share your experience on the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, how the Pacchai Pattini Vratham is going on for you, and what are the different kinds of breakthroughs that you're having in your life following the Pacchai Pattini Vratham, you can share these experiences as well. We have another minute to share our experiences on the social media, and then we will be moving on. Moving on to the next segment of today's
Many people ask me how to receive Devi's grace fully. Listen carefully. Be very clear. Literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen. So always receive them very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut in front of the screen. You watch Devi. 1 coin. It can be lowest unit available for you. It can be $1 or even 1 cent is okay. Coin. Coin is the traditional dakshina given in Hindu tradition. It can be lowest value. If you are in India, it can be 25 paise or 10 paise, or even if you get 1 paise coin, that is okay. If you are in US, it can be even quarter or even a cent. If you get a cent coin, that is also okay. Keep a coin. Coin is considered to be traditional dakshina. 1 betel nut, 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 lowest minimum possible coin available for you. Offer that to Devi. That's the way the dakshina is offered traditionally. And after the darshan is over, do namaskar and eat that banana, betel leaf and betel nut. Take it as a prasadam immediately. That coin, collect, then send it to our temple maybe the Los Angeles temple. You can send it. Keep minimum coin. I am not trying to monetize, please understand. You can keep 1 cent. But the traditional respect is giving some minimum coin. Especially women, Devi, when she comes, at least 2 betel leaf, 1 betel nut, 1 banana, 1 coin. As I said, it does not even need to be $1 coin. It can be even 1 cent coin. 1 cent is also okay. Whichever country you are living, the minimum denomination coin available, keep just 1 coin and offer it. After the darshan is done, eat that betel leaf and betel nut, banana. The coin, send it to nearest temple. Los Angeles is best as a dakshina. That's it. Listen. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but once you start this, you will understand in few days how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. That is why this betel leaf, betel nut. Listen carefully. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality, lifestyle, and it will remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. After 2-3 days, you forget you are having Devi in the screen from Kailasa appearing directly. This 2 betel leaf will remind you, hey, Devi is appearing on the screen. You are receiving her ritualistically. That is why I am saying, I am not even expecting you to keep $1. Keep 1 cent. So 100 days, if you see darshan, only then it will get added up into $1. I think 1 cent is, 100 cent is $1. That's what I think. I don't know the. So keep even 1 cent is okay. If you are in India, you can keep even 1 paise or 10 paise, whatever minimum coin available, you can keep. But this betel leaf, betel nut, banana, and this coin, don't forget. It can even be dry leaf, that is okay. Usually at this samadhi level, when I verbalize, common man can't grasp as per his logic. So he will have his own confusion, misinterpretation. So I'll wait for a little more settling down so it can be verbalized into your language. The language you understand, the rationality or the rationale means the logic level of a common human beings. So I'll settle down to that and then start expressing. I have so many wonderful things from Kailasa to all of you. Raising the intensity of the integrity will keep you all prepared to receive this whole thing. Be like Devi, Brahmanda Yoni, Parashakti, waiting to receive. Be like Parashakti, you will receive Paramashiva intensely, beautifully. Remember yourself as Parashakti and wait to receive Paramashiva. Even this intense waiting, a deep passive waiting, can just make you explode in enlightenment. And Paramashiva delivers his message just by a word, by an initiation, by mantra, just You can explode. It is possible. So prepare yourself with a deep waiting. Many people ask me how to receive Devi's grace fully. Listen carefully. Be very clear. Literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen. So always receive them very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut in front of the screen. You watch Devi. 1 coin. It can be lowest unit available for you. It can be $1 or even 1 cent is okay. Coin. Coin is the traditional dakshina given in Hindu tradition. It can be lowest value. If you are in India, it can be 25 paise or 10 paise, or even if you get 1 paise coin, that is okay. If you are in US, It can be even quarter or even a cent. If you get a cent coin, that is
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasada Shiva. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Nityanam, now that we have had the darshan of the Devi Parashakti, the darshan of the supreme bond of Hinduism, and have manifested the superconscious powers of Paramashiva, we're going to be entering into the next segment of today's program, which is the Hindu votes. And I'm pretty sure all of you have been following the social media, been following what has been trending online, and definitely Kailasa has hit the headlines of not just India, but the whole world as well. Kailasa is the talk of the town, and every single news outlet is trying to get their take, trying to find out what they can about Kailasa, about the only Hindu nation. Joining with me today, I also have Snitya Brahmasukhananda Maharaj. Nityananda Maharaj. Yes. And so today we're going to be going a little bit more in depth as to understanding why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to be forced into exile, why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was forced into exile from India. And to start this off, I would like to first share a couple of incidences, a couple of things which have been going on for the past couple of decades. Because only when you understand this narrative, only then we're going to understand the brutal attack which is happening on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Why such a brutal attack is going on? Why such a brutal persecution is going on? There is no doubt that Hindus, Hindu leaders, and Hinduism itself are being targeted in the name of secularism, in the name of free speech. This is a recurring theme in media and entertainment. Hindu sentiments are ridiculed, Hindu leaders are slandered, the Hindu thought currents, ideas, and beliefs are marked and labeled as pseudoscience. This has been going on for more than decades. This has not been going on just for decades, but has been going on for centuries. This delegitimization campaign is not happening in India alone. That is a very important thing which you all need to understand. This is not taking place just in one particular country. There are elements, there are forces across the globe working actively to twist the narrative, twist the history, and wipe Hinduism from the face of the planet once and for all.
And
What we are sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Kamal.
I may add one thing. The whole thing, what we are presenting to our viewers, is basically a broad sketch of Hindu misère, basically Hindu hatred, happening not just through centuries but through millennia. And it has changed its faces, it has changed its forms, but the core of it, that is the Hindu hatred, trying to destroy the enlightened Hindu civilization, that remains constant. Now, as we progress in today's show, we are going to show our viewers how this simple propaganda, this agenda of destroying the Hindu civilization from the planet Earth, has been happening on the planet Earth for many millennia. It has changed its forms. It has changed its forms through the invaders from various other religions, the British colonialism in India, and even now it operates, which some people may know, some people might not know. The same Hindu media still operates in a much more sinister form than what people can imagine or they have seen already in the world happening. Yes, Maharaj, please continue.
Yes, exactly. Hindu media forces, they have taken the form, they have taken through different means over the past couple of centuries, which it has been going on now. They have been taking different forms and continuing to do the same thing again and again. So one thing which I would like to share with all of you right now, a small incident. It's not a small incident, but just one, in the grand narrative, the extent to which the Hindu Holocaust, the Hindu persecution is happening. I'd like just to share one incident from that.
Many years back, I think even decades ago now, the school textbooks in California were misrepresenting the last few centuries of history in Asia. It's particularly saying that the Mughals were a peaceful civilization, while Hindus were a barbaric society. The Mughals invasion, which they had done, which had gone for more than a century, was tried to be changed in school textbooks. Their violent, barbaric, horrendous existence and the murders, deaths, and suffering which they inflicted upon the Hindu civilization. They are trying to change this narrative and trying to brainwash people about Hindus and what has actually happened to the Hindu empire. If you look at the history, there is not a single world war, not a single invasion which lasted as long as the Mughals tried to invade India. The violent invasion, which this has not happened to any single other civilization, any single other culture in history for the amount of time, for the number of years which the Mughal tried to invade India. Not only that, but even after doing all that, they have the audacity, people have the audacity to say that Hindus were barbaric and tried to conquer other people's lands. Can you imagine the kind of narration which is being done here, the kind of brainwashing which is being done here? It's only been since 200 or 300 years at the maximum since the Mughal invasion. But already the narrative is trying to be changed to saying that Hindus were the people who were invading other countries. Hindus were the ones who were going and conquering and raping and looting other people's cultures. If you actually study the history, you will not see a single instance or a single place where Hindus marched, where Hindus voyaged and tried to violently conquer other lands, other people. You will only hear and read about how diplomatic relations were established with other nations, how trade was established with Cambodia, with Mongolia, with even with Burma. Only you'll hear about the diplomatic relations which were established with all these countries, how the exchange of culture took place, how the kings and rulers of India sent temples, literally temples were sent to Cambodia through ship and to other deshas. Since the existence of Vedic civilization, since Vedic civilization has happened on this planet, it has always been for life positive, enriching, and contributing to other civilizations, contributing to the nature, contributing to the world. All the best things, all life positive contributions which you've had in the world, which you are personally experiencing, and which the world is personally experiencing, are originating from the fundamental ideology, from the people who have lived, who are the descendants of the Vedic civilization, rooted in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Just take a look around you, just take a look around the web. Most of the top tech, business, Fortune 500 companies, all of them, most of them have Hindu CEOs, have a Hindu leadership. In so many countries, in the Singapore, in the US, in the UK, so many Hindus hold the powerful decision-making authoritative positions in their governments. Hindus, even though they are the ethnic minority in many of the regions, in many of the countries which they have settled in, they are the biggest taxpayers of their countries. The number, just the number of Hindu doctors in all parts of the world exceeds those of other origins by a vast margin.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Brahmasukha Maharaj.
You're giving such beautiful facts. The point we are trying to make is Hindus are the most life positive people on planet Earth. They are most contributing, most lively, enriching others all the time. And this is not something which is just a matter of coincidence. It comes from the fundamental belief, the fundamental cognitions that Hindus have been carrying for thousands of years. It comes from the Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, the source scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Ideas like Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Santu, let everyone be prosperous, let everyone be happy. These are the kind of ideas which Hindu kids are brought up listening and living. So that's how it naturally manifests as the most life positive civilization on planet Earth. And that is the very reason the anti-spiritual elements on planet Earth have also been ganging up and trying to destroy this beautiful and powerful enlightenment based civilization on planet Earth for a long time now. And yeah, please Maharaj, we continue and we'll give more facts as we go on.
Exactly. See, the amount of contribution which is being done, which is happening by Hindus, by the Hindu society, you mean to say that these are the same very people that this community were pillaging, were destroying, raping, and conquering other countries? You mean to say that the people who are serving humanity on such a large scale, just a couple of 100 years ago, were destroying and trying to get, trying to nullify all other cultures and communities? Arre, come on. It is this history, this narrative, which is not being shared with the world. It is this part of Hinduism, this part of our story, which is not being taught to our next generation. And these guys are trying to, twist the narrative in these history textbooks. Not only that, wherever there is a Hindu temple, in any part of the globe, wherever there is a Hindu temple, the crime rate in the locality drastically reduces. The spiritual growth, the peace of mind which people experience is tremendous. One thing about Hindu temples, of any tradition, any sampradaya in Hindu tradition, when they build a Hindu temple, one thing they all have in common is the simple practice of Annadan, which is serving a free food to the public. And naturally, when the basic needs, basic requirements of the people are served, are taken care of food and water, then naturally they don't need to resort to other means by trying to get their food by stealing. This is not just, I'm just trying to put out some theories or something. These actually happen. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a living example of doing this. After Swamiji was coronated as the 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai Adinam and started doing the public social work in Madurai, offering of the public services in Madurai, the Annadan and the free medical camps, the police, the local police, they themselves came to the Madurai Adinam and they told Swamiji that because of the free public services which were being provided, the crime rate in Madurai automatically dropped. It came down drastically, it reduced. And this is not just in Madurai. In every Kailasa, wherever a Kailasa ecosystem is established, any place of the world, similar recognitions, similar awards and recognitions have been given by the local leaders, by the local heads of state. They have given recognitions to our Kailasas, especially in places like Los Angeles. Recognitions have been given to the Nityanandeshwari Hindu Temple in Los Angeles, where they are contributing, giving back to the society, giving back to the people. And all these services are provided free of cost. Tell which tradition can be more life positive than Hinduism? Because fundamentally, we need to understand that life positivity is embedded in the very DNA of Hindus. The very mindset, the very thought current, the structure of Hindus is only to give back, to contribute back to society.
Yes, Maharaj. One more thing, during your discussion, when you are saying these anti-spiritual, the anti-Hindu forces are trying to twist the narrative, I would like to add, no, it's not just a twist of narrative. They are very cunning people and very smart people. They know what they are doing. See, first of all, the contributions, the life positive contributions, innumerous, infinite contributions of Hindus throughout the centuries have completely been hidden. They've completely been hidden from not just the general public, but from the Hindu kids, Hindu children also. That is one. Second, you totally destroy the civilization. You do genocide after genocide, whole Hindu Holocaust. Nearly 400 million Hindus have been killed in this long standing, and nobody knows about this Hindu Holocaust, that it happened. We know about the Jewish Holocaust, how many Jews were killed, 4 million or 6 million, something like that. The number is there, these many Jews were killed, but nobody knows that 400 million Hindus have been killed in this Hindu Holocaust, which first of all has happened, and second, which is the worst thing that has happened, is this whole Holocaust has been categorically denied from the whole public, and on top of that, Hindus themselves have been turned into villains in this war. It is like the perpetrator of the violence has been turned into or labeled as the innocent person, and the innocent or the victim of the genocide, the victim of the Holocaust is being portrayed as the most violent villain. And this is happening even now. Even now, this whole intellectuals into believing some bogus theories like this critical race theory, and the brainchild of that theory being the critical caste theory. Basically, what portraying that it is the Hindus and their varnashrama dharma which is the core, because of which the whole slavery of the world has happened. Now see the kind of games these people are playing. First you destroy the civilization, turn it into the villain, and then simply try to create a narrative so that it becomes justified for them to kill whatever is remaining even now. And this, if we go into what has happened to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, personally, we will clearly see how this whole thing has happened and played out in his own life also. Please continue, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj, just adding to this, it actually reminds me of something which Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, had mentioned in the satsang about, the strategy of the British and how they tried to destroy the Hindu civilization. First, you take a dog, you spread the propaganda, defame the dog, call it a mad dog. Then after that, when you kill the dog, no one is going to blame you, no one is going to, punish you. They're only going to praise you and thank you for killing the dog. It is exactly the same thing which is happening. And also, just to add to your point, this is actually, I was just discussing this with our scriptwriter who's helping us prepare the content for today's show. And we were having a similar discussion where these life positive things which we are talking about, which we are sharing with the public, we ourselves didn't know about it. I mean, until Swamiji shared, we ourselves didn't know about how much of good Hindus are doing to the world. Hindus themselves are not aware of the amount of contribution they are doing to the world on a daily basis, not something separately. The very profession, the very career they enter into, the amount of life contribution, the amount of life positivity they radiate and they generate back and give back to the public. We ourselves are not aware of this. And that is the fundamental problem. Because we ourselves are not aware of how important we are for society. And that without the contributions, without Hinduism being a part of every person's life, of the life of every individual, we don't know the importance. We are not aware of the threat which is being placed on us as well. And so
Yes.
to enter into more about this, to get into the details of how Hinduism is such a life positive religion, how Hinduism is so contributing, giving back to the society, enriching others. It is through the source scriptures which were revealed by Paramashiva, who is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, and with the help of the Vedic rishis who recorded, transcribed, and compiled what was revealed to them, and the Brahmin community of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, who helped implement what Paramashiva revealed to make it a part of our daily lives as our individuals. Not just a part of our daily life, but a part of our very DNA itself. Our Vedic rishis knew the science of how to embed these greater sciences, these sublime truths of what Paramashiva reveals about the cosmos, about our realities, into the DNA of our Hindu women. The Hindu women were the spindle, the integral structure which kept the stability of the Hindu society intact. And it is because of this, the overflowing life positivity, the enrichments Hindu have for life and for society is just a byproduct of the higher superconscious way of life that was lived by our ancestors. The superconscious powers which Swamiji is manifesting and which is initiating thousands of people, millions of people into, the higher realities, the higher planes, the higher dimensions of the cosmos with which we related and communicated with. This is actually the true authentic Hindu way of existence, the Hindu way of life. And it is because we had lived at such a high elite lifestyle, a byproduct of that is the life contributions, the life positivity we radiate towards society. This authentic Hindu way of life was successfully destroyed through numerous Mughal invasions and through the British colonizations in a number of ways. The destruction of Hindu temples, the burning of the millions of source scriptures of Hinduism, stealing and raping of the Hindu women, destroying the Gurukul education system, annihilation of the Brahmin community, defamation and slander campaigns against the Hindu Mahapurushas and the gods and goddesses of Hinduism, brainwashing even Hindus themselves to believe that the Puranas and Itihasas are myths and not facts. In every possible way, through every possible mean, Hinduism was systematically, cunningly destroyed. And it is now, with the grace and blessings of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has landed on the planet Earth as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva to revive, to bring back this ancient lifestyle, this ultimate way of existence, and re-establish the practice of authentic Hinduism on the planet once more. Since the past 27 years, since the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has started the public mission, has started the mission of reviving Kailasa and establishing the Nityananda Sangha, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has provided more than 1 billion free meals served worldwide, given out to all people irrespective of religion, gender, race, nationality, color, caste, creed, and so on. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived, as we mentioned earlier, the authentic science of enlightened power manifestation, the Shaktis of Paramashiva, expressing from the space of oneness with the avatar, which he has successfully manifested through tens of thousands of disciples and devotees worldwide, giving a superconscious breakthrough to the very existence, to every being, reminding us all of our highest possibility and purpose of our very life, which is manifesting Paramashiva. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, during the peak COVID times, provided preventive care centers in the form of multi-layer quarantine facilities, offering free hospitality, free organic sattvic vegetarian meals, free high-speed internet, and protecting anyone in need from the COVID-19 pandemic, all of this free of cost, taking the complete monetary cost, taking complete expense of this whole endeavor onto himself. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, over the past 27 years of public discourses, has provided powerful cognitions and cognitive shifts in the fields of enlightenment, health, wealth, relationships, and much more, providing guaranteed life solutions to everyone free of cost. Not only that, the recording of the 10,000 hours of Swamiji's public discourses have been freely available and uploaded onto YouTube and has already amassed to more than 1 billion hours of 1 billion views. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also authored more than 200 books, which have been translated into 65 different languages. And all of these books are offered also free of cost, free download to anyone. You can download these books at books.nityananda.org, and you can also download the books from kailasa.org website. All these books, again, are offered free of cost digitally. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the initiator of the Ishanya project, launched by Kailasa to transport medical equipment, clothes, and other resources from developed countries to underdeveloped countries, where there is a lack of medical infrastructure and which can be reused, which can be recycled in other underdeveloped places. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is collecting and preserving the Hindu scriptures and has total till now has collected more than 1 billion books and petabytes of digital material. The preservation and digitization of the ancient Sanskrit Hindu texts has been an ongoing process of protecting the authentic history and heritage of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has provided relief work in various parts of the world during various natural calamities, and is providing free education in the form of the Nityananda Raja Vidya Gurukul for more than 100,000 students. But despite all of these contributions, despite all the anti-Hindu elements, which have been recklessly trying to destroy the image of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spending millions and millions of dollars in campaigns against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the United States of Kailasa, it is because of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reviving the authentic Hinduism, the authentic Hindu way of life. Due to the sheer hard work, he is being targeted, persecuted, and undergoing extreme lawfare.
Yes, Maharaj. So basically, now that we have come to the point, see, first of all the contributions that we are trying to point out that the Supreme Pontiff has been trying to do in all the years, it's basically simple, sincere, hard work and living the life of Hinduism, manifesting Paramashivatva, that he is demonstrating himself in physical form on the planet Earth and giving confidence to other Hindus that this is the way you're supposed to live and this is the way you can contribute the most to humanity. Now my question is to all the viewers, when you Google his name, do you see any of these contributions covered by media? We are covering, we are sharing, but do you see any of this covered by media? No. What do we see? It's all negative news, all negative propaganda. News agency after news agency after news agency, same headlines, same kinds of taglines. What is going on? So we have shared the contributions with you. Let's also share the story. Okay, what is this going on? Why so much of negative news? What are they really trying to say? What is our side of the story? So let's see what happened. The headlines talk about, that's the words that they use, right? Fugitive, rape accused godman, Nityananda, right? That's what they use. Okay, let's break down word by word. We'll come to the fugitive part later. Rape accused. Let's start with the story. What really happened? In 2010, a man goes to Chennai police and simply gives a letter saying that he has a suspicion that Swami Nityananda is misbehaving with some women. I'll repeat. He is saying in the letter that he has a suspicion that Swami Nityananda is misbehaving with some women. Now, what does Chennai police do? Based on this letter, they file a rape complaint, a rape charge against Swami Nityananda. What is the connection? God knows. They file a rape charge. rape complaint, it becomes like that. Now, since it's Chennai police, it doesn't come under its own jurisdiction. The case gets transferred to Bangalore police. Okay. So now in Bangalore police, the case is there, rape charge against Swami Nityananda, and during this time, the media hype has already started, whole negative publicity, slanting has already started, and they are coming up with bogus headlines like 50 women have said, they have come out and said that they are being raped by Swami Nityananda. Nobody can knows where they are even till now. They mentioned stuff like sources, police sources have said that 50 women claim that they have been raped. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Now, with this, what else is happening? First, this rape case, one important point. Till now, there is no victim. Nobody knows where the victim is. I mean, just try to imagine the situation. They have filed, one person goes and simply gives a letter saying that he has some suspicion that some misbehavior is happening, which is completely vague and random. Based on that, police files a charge, a rape charge, without even having a witness, without even having a victim. This is like the first time in the history of law that a rape case has been charged and filed against a person without even having any victim. And then after that, during this time, when the case is getting transferred to the Bangalore police, the police is coming out with advertisements. Like, come, please, any witness, any victim out there, please come. We will give you money. We will pay for your travel and other expenses. Everything we will pay. Please come out. Disclose your identity. Like, even some renowned lawyers and some renowned jurists have, like Geoffrey Robertson, they have stated in their analysis of this whole case, they literally said that we are shocked that police can do some, that kind of a thing. Now, moving forward, when this is happening, just after this, a little while after, Swami Nityananda, Bhagavan Nityananda Parameswaran, he gets illegally arrested. Okay, he gets illegally arrested based on this whole false narrative. Now, this illegal arrest in the name of interrogation, what really happens? Let's share with the public. The first day, an extremely inhuman, torturous potency test he goes through under the police in a completely undisclosed location. Okay. In this potency test, they even inject some lethal substances into him, because of which he even has some cardiac arrest-like symptoms. So he is literally subjected to extreme inhuman torture in the name of potency test. That is the first thing. Now, immediately after this potency test is over, same day, he is taken to the court in front of the judge. Judge is frightened looking at Swamiji, because Swamiji, just before the potency test, he is absolutely fine, because photographs, pictures, whatever you say, anything we see, he is completely fine, joyful, happy, completely healthy. But immediately after this potency test, when he is taken to the judge, he is on a wheelchair, he is palpitating, perspiring, sweating profusely, and extremely in a bad health. Even the judge himself gets frightened. He says, hey, take him to the hospital, he needs medical attention first. So immediately after that, he is taken to the hospital for medical attention. Now what happens in this medical attention? Just the next morning, in the hospital itself, pipe is being forced down his throat, damaging his internal organs, his digestive tract, his food pipe, in the name of endoscopy. Internal bleeding happens, injury happens, a lot of stuff happens. That is the thing which in the name of medical attention. Now immediately after this, he is taken to the police custody, where a 7-day torture is unleashed on him. Now what is going on? We'll see. First, excessive blood. They remove excessive blood from him several times a day, continuously for all these days. Second, he is starved. He doesn't eat anything for all these days. He is not given food. And if at all he is given food, he has been tried to poison. Second, he is being force-fed beef also. So first you starve the person, and in the name of giving food, you either try to poison him or to force feed a Hindu sannyasi, a Hindu and not just a sannyasi, an enlightened master. You try to force feed beef into his mouth. On top of that, He is dehydrated, not given water, and forced to lick water from the floor. Not just that, story doesn't end there. Sleep deprivation. An Israeli PM, I don't remember his name, he mentioned this one because he underwent similar kind of a situation in his own life. He said that from my experience, a person can handle hunger, he can handle thirst, he cannot handle sleep deprivation. He cannot handle that. Swamiji was subject to sleep deprivation, continuous sleep deprivation. How? First, see, one more thing, where he was taken, that interrogation cell, it was specifically designed to break down his will. He was physically tortured, mentally tortured, and went through all kinds of torture in that situation that kind of a cell which was created. Some construction activity was going on. First thing, the cell was in a basement where some construction activity was also going on. Some toilet seepage, the leakage was happening, and the whole urine from that toilet was on the floor along with the water, cold water. And he was forced to sleep on the very floor, which he could not because it's filled with cold water mixed with urine. And on top of that, he's also subject to some lethal radiation, which is like really harmful for people and lethal actually. He's been subjected to all this torture, all this inhuman treatment continuously in the name of interrogation. For what? Basically, to force a false confession from him. So that is happening in the name of interrogation. Let's put this out straight in front of the viewers. What he is going through. Forget about who is doing, why they are doing. Forget it. Let's see what Swamiji is going through in the name of what? In the name of interrogation, he is going through severe human rights violations, severe torture, severe persecution. Okay. Now, immediately after this, for around 52, 53 days, he remains in the prison illegally detained. Then after that, he is let out. Now the hearings are going on, and the police is still, the police officials who are involved in this, they're still singing the same song. 50 women have been raped. 50 women have been raped. Now the hearing is going on. The judge is asking them, okay, do you have the victim? Who is the victim? And the police officials, they don't have a face to show. They don't have any face to answer. They just sneak a piece of paper to the judge. It's called a memo in the legal parlance. They just sneak that little piece of paper. They say, in that paper it's written, we don't know. We don't have any victim. So these hearings are going on. The judge makes the statement. It's on record. He makes the statement in the guise of suspicion. How long can you torture a person? In the guise of suspicion. How long can you torture a person? This is the statement the judge is making. Now this whole thing is going on. 5 months have passed. Around the 6th month is going on. That finally, somehow, the police catches hold of a woman, a US citizen, and to pose as a false rape victim. Okay. This happens around the 6th month. She comes and as a witness, she enters the case. About this victim, simple, straightforward, we can tell. She filed a similar case in the US court and was charged with a penalty of $500,000 for falsely accusing Swamiji of rape. In that very case itself, many renowned medical officials were involved. They did the investigation and they found out this whole thing is bogus, this whole thing is false. We don't have to go into all the details or all that. Basically, they just quashed the whole thing. And this was in 2014. In 2019, Indian court, Bangalore Metropolitan Court, upholds that judgment from the US court, reiterating that they also impose a penalty on her, which was amounting to 3 crore Indian rupees plus interest. So this whole thing is false. But they're still dragging the same case even now. Still the same case is going on, the whole media slander is going on, nobody is sharing our side of the story. This whole thing is, we can't even call it a joke because this is serious. This is serious. Now, what is happening? This is one thread that is happening. Apart from this, Swamiji is subjected to many illegal imprisonments and subjected to torture even through those. For example, in 2012, he was again illegally arrested, and in the legal proceedings after that, the High Court judge, he passes an order. He says, first of all, Swamiji has been illegally arrested. Very clearly, it's there on record in the judgment itself. Swamiji has been illegally arrested. Second, he makes another statement saying that the proceedings of the state were illegal, arbitrary, and abuse of power. It's a very clear statement made by the High Court. The whole thing is going on and on. He is subjected to so much of torture. On top of that, this is from the side of the legalities and the state machinery. The independent group of Hindu media terrorists and militants are again and again trying to do the assassination attempts. Since 2010, more than 50 assassination attempts on the life of the Supreme Pontiff have happened. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's even talking about who is accountable, who is responsible for that. Even till the day he left India, he was subject to assassination attempts again and again by the hands of these militants, by these terrorists. So first we need to be clear what is going on. There are some social media influencers who are asking the question that if some other Hindu gurus, they have also faced some similar cases. Why they have faced the similar cases? They have stayed back in India and they have faced those. They have presented their side of the story. Then why Swami Nityananda he went out of the country? See, we are not here to comment on what other gurus, full due respect to them, what they have gone through and what cases they are facing and how they are handling it. We are presenting the side of the story of Swamiji, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, clearly stating that he is not going through any legal process per se. Yes, it appears that way, but this is not a legal process. He is going through inhuman torture and persecution. It's very clear. Along with assassination attempts. See, you have to be alive in the first place to go through any legal process. You will not even leave the person alive. What legal process are you talking about for the person to come and face and this and that? So this torture, this persecution, these are the reasons. In 2018, he left India. He left India to seek asylum because of this persecution and assassination attempts. What happened in 2018? Another side of the story, another headline that we come to another word now, fugitive, right? He left the country, he did not have any passport and illegally, no. He had a valid passport. He left India in a completely legal way. Because before that, High Court had given another order saying that Swami Nityananda can have a valid passport and he is free to travel. He is free to travel and his passport cannot be revoked. It cannot be revoked. So it was a High Court order. Despite that, his passport has been revoked, completely violating the orders of the High Court, completely violating the orders of even Supreme Court in another case. It involved Maneka Gandhi. Basically, in short, that judgment simply says that it is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional to do. You cannot just take away passport of a person like that. It is unconstitutional. You cannot make it null and void, basically. So, violating the Supreme Court of India, violating the High Court of India, violating the Indian Constitution, violating even the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, violating multiple treaties which India has signed and obligation is obliged to, is a signature party. Violating all these things, his passport has been cancelled. What is the answer for all this? Where is the illegality?
Yes, actually,
Yes, Manoj.
exactly. We can actually say that there is a lot of firsts which have happened in the persecution, especially against Swamiji. For the first time, actually in 2010, when the false rape charge was filed against Swamiji, was filed against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Till date, 3 lakh rape cases have been filed. But this was the first time a rape case was filed without a victim. Without the name, without the identity of a victim, a rape case was filed. This was the first time happening in the history of not just not just the history of the India, but the history of the whole world itself, where someone is arrested for not just a false rape case, for a rape case which doesn't even have a victim. That is number one. And number two, as you mentioned, in 2014, the potency test which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to go through, that again is violating a number of human rights laws, a number of international laws, which, as you had also mentioned, which India has also signed with multiple international countries, with multiple international organizations for the protection of human rights. This is another first. And then the third thing, where the Indian state government is going directly against the High Court order, the Supreme Court order, where not just the passport, but even the medical tests of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the police was not taking that into accountability. They're not presenting that in the court and not adding that to the case. So a number of things which have happened where directly the state government is going against the High Court, going against the judiciary body of the country. Can you say that this has happened to any other person? Can you say that this has happened to any other person, any other individual in any country for that matter, where the executive order is not obliging to the judiciary order of the country? And so what other option was there other than to seek political asylum in some other place? Because you know you're not going to get any justice in what is going on with the whole thing, everything which is going on. How are you going to get any justice when the two factions of its own government is not working with each other?
Yes,
this is directly the abuse of which is happening. This is directly the abuse of power of authority, which has also been, as you mentioned, Maharaj, which has also been recognized by Mr. Geoffrey Robertson, one of the many Hindu rights advocates who have looked at the whole persecution and who have given their opinion and their statements about it.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing we would like to add is we are not really casting any aspersions on the state, Indian state per se, Indian government, or even the judiciary, executive, or the legislative wings. No, we are not. These are the anti-Hindu, Hindu misia, deep state elements who have literally percolated various sides, various factions of the state machinery and are working for their malified interest. It has to be made clear. And their interest is simply destruction of Hinduism. And since the Supreme Pontiff is standing, he is sticking his neck out basically on behalf of all the Hindus. And because of that, he is being targeted, he is being viciously attacked. Just look at their whole machinery, the way they are functioning. Media, any media house after media house, it's not just like one headline comes and another. At the same time, the whole cloud erupts, like negative news. Even if you Google, only the negative news will appear. They have mastered, they are really smart people. They have mastered even how to trick the algorithm in trying to create the public opinion, manufacture consent for your narrative, manufacturing consent among masses for your narrative, and completely quashing and hiding the alternate narrative, any alternate narrative per se. So one thing is very clear, we are not saying anything about India, Indian nation, the state of India, its people. In fact, even after this whole persecution, recent statement, Swamiji has said that he has high regards of India. He treats India as his Guru Peetham, the seat of the Guru Parampara, his Guru Parampara. He has
Exactly.
high regards for the Indian nation, the soul of India. Is just against the elements in the deep state which we are talking about.
Yes. As Brahmasukha Maharaj, you have beautifully put, it is just the deep state elements, Hindu misia forces, which has already influenced and has already put its roots, put its hands throughout the entire deep state, which needs to be addressed, which action needs to be taken against. And so now with this, we're going to be moving over, we're going to be coming to the conclusion of the session with the Hindu vote topic for today. And so the Hindu vote topic, to just give a little bit of a background, this in the direct words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. If you look just even 2 generations back, say even during the rule of the British era, when the British colonization was happening, even then, all the Madhadipatis, all the Adinams had the immunity, had protection against all persecution. This was a legal written immunity which they had from all sorts of persecution. And so, because after the adoption of the secular government, so many, what are the problems, everything which we are facing right now, is because of this protection which has not been given, the immunity which has not been given to the Hindu Matadipati, to the Hindu Mats, and to the Hindu Adinams. And so for this, this brings us to the Hindu vote topic for today, which is, should the Hindu vote topic for today the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as we mentioned earlier, categorically stated that the secular constitution was adopted. Till then, all the Mats, all the Adinams had immunity from all sorts of persecution, even during the rule of the British government. Should immunity be provided for Mats and Adinams as it was 2 generations ago? This is the Hindu vote topic for today. And so you can cast your vote. You can head over to Twitter and the official channel, the official handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is Sri Nityananda. You can head over to the official Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's Twitter handle and cast your vote as to what do you think should be done. Should immunity be provided for Mats and Adinams as it was just 2 generations back? And so with this, I would like to thank all our viewers and thank Brahmasukha Maharaj. Thank you so much for coming today and presenting the authentic Hindu narrative, presenting our side of the story, the persecution and the facts and figures which should be given and which should be brought to the attention of the whole world. And so with this, we're going to be entering into the next segment of today's program, which is the Nityananda Satsang. So we'd like everyone to please take a few minutes now to head over to Twitter and cast your vote as to what do you think should be done about this particular topic, about whether immunity should be provided for the Hindu Mats and Hindu Adinams. So now with this, let us enter into the meditation to prepare ourselves to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the Nityananda Satsang. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your Ananda Gandha. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presiding in your Ananda Gandha as Paramashiva with the 25 heads and 50 hands. And now, start chanting the Mahavakya mantra, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, and allow the mantra to reverberate throughout your entire being. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your 3 eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambam Nityanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and blessing. The first powerful cognition, the truth, I want to give you all. Now, through the initiation I am going to give you all, I awaken the Parama Shiva in you, make you all manifest the ultimate life, Parama Shiva. As Parama Shiva has blessed me, He Himself has manifested in me, I'll make Him manifest in you all now, because He has authorized me to manifest Him in all of you. Listen. Listen intensely. I'll give you some of the most guarded secrets of the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there may be some gurus who experienced ultimate within them, but they will not know how to teach. There are some, even if they know to teach, they do not know how to transmit the experience. There are some who would have had experience, but not the traditional initiation. There are some who would have had experience and initiation, but may not know how to transmit. There are some who would have had initiation and experience and even know how to transmit, but they may not have received initiation